Yo, what's going on YouTube? My name's SoFlo Sneaks, and today I'm bringing you a little video that I hope will be beneficial to newer people starting out who maybe don't have a lot of money to kind of get into the botting scene and stuff. So I really hope this video could help you out. The title's not clickbait or anything. This is seriously a way that you could start botting Supreme for under $500 where you could actually buy stuff and make money. So just to run through the numbers real quick before we get started. The bot that we're talking about is called Velox, and you can pick that up for anywhere from $200 to $250. Proxies, those can cost anywhere from $30 to $50 for the month, most likely. And I guess if you want to use a server, you could, but you can just use Google Cloud, which is perfectly free. So I mean, that kind of puts us anywhere from $250 to $300. And the rest you can kind of just spend on the Supreme website and actually buy products that you can make profit on. So yeah, that's just kind of the numbers real quick, and let's get onto the website. So this is Velox's website. It's called veloxpreme.io, and as you can see here, it is supported on Windows and Mac, as well as in Europe and the United States. And just like pretty much every other bot, it is sold out right now. This is the retail price right here. It's 150 euros, which is about $170, $175. So if we scroll down for just a second, we can see some of the features that Velox offers. So the first one is a simple overview. This bot is very beginner friendly, super easy to use. Everything is just kind of right there in front of you. There's nothing hidden in the settings, anything like that. Very simple bot, very easy to use. Two modes, so they have request and hybrid. I've personally hit on both of these modes. They seem to work really well. And just in the Discord and stuff, which I'll talk about in a second, is you can just see what modes you should be using and just kind of everything like that. Private Pookie bypass. So Pookie is Supreme's bot protection. So Velox actually has its own Pookie bypass to get past Supreme's bot protection, right? Restock mode. So this actually wasn't really working too well last season, but the developer has actually been working really hard on the bot. He said he's actually working full time on it now, which I think is a very big green flag there. And so the restock mode has actually been working this season, and it's hit on the Air Force Ones and it's hit on the Oreos, which is super cool. And it's good to just see that it's kind of up and running and that the developer is constantly working and updating on the bot. So real quick, I'm just going to talk about different places where you can buy Velox. I'm going to go over 3 different ways, but if you already know this, just feel free to skip ahead. I'll leave some timestamps in the comments. If you wanted to pick this bot up, not off the website, there's a few different places that you could do it. Well, the first, but also the hardest way, would be obviously to get it for retail. And you can do that through following them on Twitter. And sometimes they host giveaways or they host restocks. But the restocks are very hard to hit on, especially if you're beginning. People have different autofill tools and auto link clickers, stuff like that, where it just makes it very difficult to manually do it. The second place you can get it, which actually you can get it as of yesterday, is botbroker.io. So this is botbroker.io, definitely one of the safest marketplaces to buy bots on. Whatever price you get it for, I'm not sure exactly the fees, but they do charge fees on top of what you pay. But it's basically you're paying the fees to guarantee you safely get the bot and you don't get scammed, stuff like that. So it could definitely be worth it. So as you can see, we clicked on Velox, and the lowest ask is $220, and the highest bid is $410. This is for renewal, and this is for lifetime. So just the difference between the two is for when you buy a renewal license, that just lasts the whole season, and then you have to renew it. So it's about $25, $30, and it lasts the whole season, so at least like 3-4 months. So that's kind of how the renewals work. And the lifetime is you just pay a one-time fee and you have the bot. So, I mean, a lifetime might not be a bad investment, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to be talking about the renewals. So as you can see, Windows, Mac, Mobile retails 150 euros. Released back in February 2018, so it's been around for a little bit. This is their social media where you can find restocks and stuff like that. This is just the UI, the user interface, which I'll show you in a sec. So this is for lifetime. This is the copies and what they're selling for, and this is just the bids and what people are willing to pay. Same thing goes for the renewals. So $220 is the lowest ask, and the renewal date is July 17th. which would be the end of the Supreme season. And this is the highest bid right now. Maybe when you're starting, you might not want to use botbroker just because of the fees, and let's just say you don't have a lot of money and stuff. So I'll show you another way that you can get Velox, which will actually be a little cheaper than botbroker. So I would definitely recommend botbroker as the safest way to buy and sell bots. But if you're kind of balling on a budget, I definitely recommend doing this instead. It's a little scary, I might say, at first because you're kind of dealing with individual people. But I'll kind of walk you through kind of ways to get it safely, I guess. So this is their Twitter. It's called Tidal Marketplace, and that's also the name of the group, which you can join right here in the Discord, which I will do right now. So this is the Tidal Marketplace Discord group. I currently don't have a membership on this account, so you'd have to pay $2.80 for 3 months, but it's definitely worth it. And you can buy and sell bots right over here. So I don't have access right now, so you're not going to be able to see the full thing, but to get access, it's super easy. You come up here, and let's see. I guess we'll just click on a random one, read me, right here. I guess you'd click on this link, and it's $2.80 for 3 months, so you can buy and sell bots. So that's a fee, and then the other fee that you're going to have to pay through here is through a middleman. So kind of how this whole marketplace works is, let's say I'm the one buying the bot and we have Joe selling the bot, right? So there's me, there's Joe, and then there's a middleman. So basically, let's say Joe is selling the bot, right? So Joe is going to give the key of the bot to the middleman in the group who's someone trusted, like an admin or a moderator. They're going to check out the key, make sure everything's good, and they're going to hold on to it. And then the middleman is going to tell you that you're good to pay Joe. So right now, Joe doesn't have the key, the middleman does. So you pay Joe, Joe says he receives the payment, and then the middleman sends you over the key, and you pay the middleman a small fee. I think it's $9. And yeah, that's kind of how Tidal works. I've used it many times. I have personally had good experiences with it. There's not 100% guarantee that you don't get scammed, but Tidal Marketplace has measures in place that if something does happen, they can kind of help you out with some different things. But Velox, you shouldn't have a problem, especially if you use a middleman. Everything should go smoothly, and you should be good to go on that. So let's just talk about a little success real quick. So last season is when I actually bought Velox, and it was actually my first bot back in November. And I paid $2.40 for it at the time. It's a little lower now. Just because usually when the Supreme season ends, the prices for Supreme bots tank because no one's using them. So I bought this bot. It was my first bot back in November. I didn't really have any help. I just kind of decided to get into it because I like sneakers, but I never really did anything with them. And so I was researching for weeks, and I just kind of came up with Velox as my best option because it was cheap and Supreme was still profitable, and it still is profitable as of right now. You have the motion logo dropping Thursday, which I'm anticipating the bot is going to do well on. I'll definitely be running, so I hope I can definitely hit on a couple of those. But anyways, so I bought this bot back in November of last year, and my first time running was on the bandana box logo hoodies, which unfortunately I didn't get any of. Those were super profitable, but I must have been running wrong. I don't remember exactly why I didn't get them. But the next drop was the bandana box logo t-shirts, and I ended up getting 2 of those. And those retailed shipped, I believe they're $50 each, so I paid $100. And I ended up selling them both to one person for $4.40. So right there alone, I made $320 profit. So that paid for the bot, and it paid for the proxies, and I still made a little profit on top, and I just felt like I balled out. So it's a great feeling, and I think that you can replicate that with Velox, especially for these motion logos dropping Thursday. The retail's about $160, I believe, and you can definitely, if you get a good size and a good color, you can definitely probably get $250, $300 for it. So definitely money to be made there. So I definitely recommend going for that, even though it is tomorrow, and you probably won't see this video by tomorrow, but I'm sure there's going to be more drops in the future. And if you see a profitable drop, let's say you see it a couple weeks in advance, then Velox might be a good option for you just to kind of get started, and so you can actually get some products that you want. So if you've ever tried to check out on Supreme website manual, you know that it is super hard, especially for the best size and the best color. Virtually impossible to get it manual. Sells out in 3 to 4 seconds. You can't even click the product and click checkout that fast. It's basically impossible to get really good sizes and really good color for retail without a bot. That's just kind of the facts of it. Everyone uses bots and they're just faster than manual. So this is a very cheap alternative to be able to get those products that you want, to make enough money so that it covers the cost of the bot and that you're really not out of pocket too much because you got the best size and the best color, so you were able to make extra money on the transaction. So last season, Velox absolutely slayed both of those bandana box logo drops. There was a few other profitable drops that it did really well on. It was competing with the best bots, doing just as well, if not better. Not on every drop, of course, but on a majority of the drops, like enough so that I would notice and I would purchase, you know. So this season, there hasn't really been too many profitable drops yet, but the Air Force Ones, those were one of them, and Velox absolutely slayed it. They've had a few restocks since, and Velox absolutely slayed it with the new restock mode. The Lamborghini drop, it wasn't crazy profitable. It was still a really good drop in my opinion, but Velox absolutely slayed it. I don't know how many checkouts, but I was just going through the checkouts tab, which I'll just show you guys in a sec also, and there was just hundreds of checkouts, if not thousands. So now since we went over where to buy it and some features of the bot and stuff, let's just get into the bot itself a little bit. So this is what you get when you type in your key when you first download it. So you have your tasks up here, your profiles, proxies, and your settings. So I just have a test profile in here, just messing around, creating some tasks and stuff. The settings, super basic. Like I said, the renewal keys are seasonal. So this is for spring, summer 20. I'm not going to show the key, obviously, and I'm not going to deactivate it either. Monitor delay. All these settings that you need and everything will actually be in the Discord, which you will get access to, the Velox Discord. Or I could just show you guys real quick. Let's see. So you have welcome, announcements, checkouts. Look at the checkouts. The checkouts is always kind of hype. So you got hella Oreos, just crazy amount of Oreos. This is all within like 1 minute too. Air Force Ones, just I could keep going for a long time. This is all within, that's 11 just dropped, and then yeah, just you get the point. A lot of checkouts, like a lot. I think this bot is super undervalued. Anyways, all the information that you need for the guides, so it would be right down here, right? So you have the release guides, so they tell you the keywords, what you need, generate Pookie enabled, which is all settings just in the tasks, which are right here. So if you were to make a task and you kind of don't know what any of this means, you can just look in the release guide and it'll definitely help you out big time with that. So like you pick your region, you pick your profile that you're using, and that's basically what name and what card information that you want to check out with. You pick what mode, and I believe he tells you to do 75% hybrid, I believe he tells you to do 75% requests and 25% hybrid. For US, I personally leave CAPTCHA bypass on for all my tasks, but I know for EU you can't do that, so just kind of look in the guides and see what he recommends for your region. Timer, that's just if you can't be on your computer or you want it to start at a specific time, you would turn that on. Use proxies, I personally do. The only time I wouldn't use proxies is if you're running just maybe 2 or 3 tasks, so they won't pick up that you're running a bot, or that it just kind of looks like you're a normal user from one IP address. Keywords, like I said, that's in the release guides. Color in the release guide. Category, release guide, release guide. Yeah, so size, you can pick random, small, medium, large, and if you don't put a color in, that's also random there. So that's just kind of a little run through of the tasks, but like I said, Discord, everything's in there. So profiles, real quick, if you wanted to make a new profile, the name, first name, last name, email, phone number, blah, 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 card number. So personally, my recommendation for Velox with profiles is you want to use real profiles. A lot of people generate virtual credit cards through privacy.com or Revolut.com for EU. Privacy is for US. But in my personal experience, all of my cards that I use with privacy get declined. So I kind of just ask as many friends as family that I have just to let me use their cards. I'll Venmo them, I'll Zelle them, whatever it is if I get a checkout, and they're usually cool with it. So I definitely recommend doing that. And for each profile, I've actually never done this before, but for this drop, I'm going to be trying to run 3 to 5 tasks per profile. So hopefully I can get a little bit more checkout than usual. Yeah, so proxies, whenever you get your list from a provider, I'd recommend using data center proxies for Supreme. They get banned a little easier than residential, but they're also faster. So I would definitely recommend those, and you want a good provider. I could recommend using Red Dirt proxies, and you could just look these up on Twitter. Red Dirt proxies, Space proxies, Leaf proxies are pretty decent, and Cookie proxies is another good one. So there's a bunch of providers you can choose from, and just kind of do your diligence, do your research, and kind of see which one works best for you. And like I said, they shouldn't be too expensive. I'm gonna get 3-day proxies from Red Dirt, and I think it's like 18 bucks. And a lot of the times they have discount codes as well, so be sure to look out for those. Once you get your list, you hit new proxies, paste them into here, and then when you're making a task, you just want to make sure that you have used proxies here, and then it will pull a random proxy from your list. So super easy. We kind of already went over the settings. There's not too much. The monitor delay is how often the bot checks that the product's on the website. So this is in milliseconds. So every 0.3 seconds, let's just say it's dropping at 10 or 11. So every 0.3 seconds, it'll check if the product loaded up onto the website and if it's going to go for it. Discord webhook URL, super easy. It basically just allows you to keep track of your purchases and declines, like what profile you're using, stuff like that. I also do show declines real quick. So how you would do that, I already made one, but I'll just make another one. So you go to home, you go to add a server, you go to create a server, and whatever you want it to be, we'll just do Supreme server, create. And what you're going to want to do, invite friends. You don't need to do that. You can if you want. You're going to come to this little arrow up here. You're going to go to server settings, and then you're going to hit webhooks on the side. You're going to create one, Captain Hook. That's clean. We're going to save it, and then you can edit it. This is your webhook URL right there, which you want to paste into the bot. So we just copied it. We are going to open up, and boom. So once that's pasted in there, if anything happens, let's say you're running, you get a checkout, it'll pop up on the side of your screen. So it'll be like this. We'll test it. So it'll be like this, but it'll say checkout with which profile, or it'll say decline, something like that. So it's super easy, and you can export profiles, import profiles, which is a useful little tool just in case you want to switch over to a server or another computer, stuff like that. You can import them, you can export them, send it to your email, then import it again, stuff like that. And you could just save your settings, which is also kind of nice for the webhook. And yeah, so that kind of wraps it up for just kind of the overall UI of the bot. And you could start all, stop all, delete all. CAPTCHA real quick. So I personally don't use this because I'm in US and I use the CAPTCHA bypass. But if you are in EU, you would probably need to use this. And how you would do it real quick, like I said, I don't use this, so take this with a grain of salt, I guess. But just from my knowledge, you'd put a proxy in here, probably another data center that's separate from the one you're using in your list. You'd hit apply. You'd log into your YouTube on a Gmail account, and then at the time of the drop, when you'd normally have to be on the website to solve the captchas will come right here to the solver. You solve them real quick, hit submit, verify, whatever it is, and then that should get your task through to be able to check out. So that's just kind of a brief, rough kind of explanation of how that works. But it basically, if you're on the website running manual, you have to solve a CAPTCHA. The bot basically brings the CAPTCHA right here so you can solve it real quick. And you can do more than one. So if you're running 20 tasks, you might want to do a couple solvers. So you can just kind of bang one out here, go to the next solver, another one will be there, stuff like that. And it comes in one at a time. So yeah, that kind of wraps that up. And that just kind of wraps up the overall bot as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. And I really hope you guys learned some things. I also hope that you guys realize that you don't need a lot of money initially to get into botting. I'm a perfect example of that. I started with Velox back in November, and it's definitely laid the groundwork and really helped me understand kind of how botting works. And it kind of just helped me take it to the next level by actually getting into it and taking action with it. So like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Any questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to all of them. Any comments, feedback, anything like that, just leave it down in the comments below. And I really appreciate it once again. So thank you guys for watching.